अगर आपको जिंदगी में एक्शंस या फिर डिसीजंस या फिर जो कहते हैं ना फैसले लेने में अगर तकलीफ होती है, अगर आप सोच विचार में पड़ते हो, इफ यू आर फाइंडिंग दैट क्वोशंट ऑफ बिकमिंग सेल्फ अवेयर, इफ यू आर ट्राइंग टू फाइंड दोस स्किल्स टू अपग्रेड योर डेली एक्शंस इन लाइफ, शी इज द वुमन हु हैज ऑल द आंसर्स फॉर एवरी क्वेश्चन ऑफ योर्स. Understand the quotient of this life that we receive as human beings, and why do we make it so hard, even though we know and we must realize that it could be lived in a very easy way. But हर एक problem solving question के लिए हमें लगती है एक technique, एक approach, and here is our technique expert, our approach expert.
Shrotagan, welcome to your podcast with Raj.
Hi Tanya Mehra, how are you doing? How are you feeling?
Hi Raj, I am so excited to be here. First of all, I'm looking forward to this conversation you have today.
Yeah. So first of all, let me just quote this. The frame is very beautiful on your side. Obviously, I couldn't say nothing less, but it's because of you. And also the frame is also very beautiful. The white and blue combination, and you're also wearing blue. So ladies and gentlemen, and Tanya Mehra, Transformational Coach Tanya Mehra, thank you so much for being over here. It's I feel grateful that you have taken out your time और आप यहाँ आए. वेलकम टू योर पॉडकास्ट विद राज. स्वागत है आपका. राज आपको स्वागत करता है उसके शो में जिसका नाम है योर पॉडकास्ट विद राज. Ladies and gentlemen, my esteemed and दिल से करीब मेरे viewers, today who we have on the show is a very talented individual, extremely dedicated and hardworking woman, and a very, very, very beautiful and positively infectious soul. Her name is Tanya Mehra, and we can call her Transformational Coach Tanya Mehra. अगर आपको जिंदगी में एक्शंस या फिर डिसीजंस या फिर जो कहते हैं ना फैसले लेने में अगर तकलीफ होती है, अगर आप सोच विचार में पड़ते हो, इफ यू आर फाइंडिंग दैट क्वोशंट ऑफ बिकमिंग सेल्फ अवेयर, इफ यू आर ट्राइंग टू फाइंड दोस स्किल्स टू अपग्रेड योर डेली एक्शंस इन लाइफ, she is the woman who has all the answers for every question of yours. What does she do? She is an ICF trained transformational coach who has done her master's in philosophy in Glasgow, in the beautiful city in Scotland, and she trains entrepreneurs in Symbiosis Institute of Pune of Business and Administration. Also, if I'm not wrong, I guess it is VMAS in UK.
Animas
Animas in UK, please. मुझे माफ करना, मैं कभी यूके गया नहीं तो उसके बारे में मुझे पता नहीं. Still I'm trying very hard to remember each and every name, and she's here, and I'm very happy to have her. And आज हम इनसे बहुत सारी बातें करेंगे, and we'll learn and we'll understand the quotient of this life that we receive as human beings, and why do we make it so hard, even though we know and we must realize that it could be lived in a very easy way. But हर एक problem solving question के लिए हमें लगती है एक technique, एक approach, and here is our technique expert, our approach expert, our transformational coach, Tanya. How are you doing?
I am doing really well, and I'm humbled by everything that you've said, and you've just beautified everything, but it's just something normal, and it's really about just connecting with your inner self. And even when you say that she's got the solutions and answers for everything, mainly what I do is I help you connect with your inner self, because your inner self knows the answers for everything. That's all you have to do, just connect. So that is what happens in the sessions, and then you just magically have all the answers that you need.
Okay, so I'm also wondering that being a transformational coach is not an easy job, because everyone thinks कि इनके पास तो सारे सवालों के जवाब होते हैं, but then there must be days कि कुछ सवालों के जवाब आप भी ढूंढते हुए थोड़े से तकलीफ में होंगे, and you might even be having your bad share of days. So how do you cope up with that when you have a professional face to wear and go and walk into the crowd and tell them it's going to be okay?
Yeah. In fact, I'll be honest here, just a couple of months back, I was experiencing this rift where I was, going through my own struggle, but I had to put up not a face. I did not have to put up a face or hide behind something. It is more like accepting, okay, that things are going bad for you. Or, you have to find out a way, and you will have to move past it. And all of that starts with acknowledging the situation. But when it comes to coaching, when you are there for people, you know that somewhere even they are going through something, and somewhere you are the hope that they are looking at. So that gives you the strength. So in that moment, there is a sudden switch where, you are there for your client or your coachee, or even when I'm going live on Instagram for Let's Be in Their series, it's about them at that point. And it is beautiful the way I have found my answers through what they share with me. So it kind of works both ways. It definitely gets difficult sometimes, but at that time you need to know where you need to pause. Where you need to stop, take some break, because every individual can experience burnout if you're not taking breaks time to time, right? So it is really about understanding what is it that your body needs, what is it that your mind needs, and acting accordingly. Yeah.
Okay.
About that.
All right. And I completely second. मैं आपकी बात का पूरा समर्थन करता हूँ when you say कि you find your answers through them, you find your answers through the vacuum of your clients. Because I feel जितनी knowledge हम ऐसे किसी पिटी किताबों में अगर हम जो पढ़ते हुए आए हैं सिलेबस में, स्केड्यूल में, वैसे तो किताब का तो ज्ञान का भंडार है. इफ यू पिक द राइट वन यू विल गेन नॉलेज. बट देन जो एक डेली एवरेज बच्चा करता है, स्कूल में पढ़ता है, फिर एक ट्यूशन होती है, एक स्केड्यूल होता है, उससे ज़्यादा knowledge I guess that individual will be able to gain if he just talks to a different individual with a different perspective towards life, when he tries to understand their strengths and their difficulties. और जब हम एक दूसरे के नज़रिए से देखते हैं, ना कि खुद के एक stereotypical नज़रिए से, I guess we learn a lot towards life. And when you say strength, so what do you think about this as a transformational coach, now that you're into this profession professionally, and who's your strength in your life?
Who is my strength? I would definitely say my parents are my strength, because I've literally seen my dad go to zero 3 to 4 times in his life and then pick it up from that zero and move ahead. So I've seen how going to the top, then falling down, and then, going ahead because there is a support behind you, family support and everything. So I definitely consider my parents as my strength, because I know if everything is going wrong, there is one thing that is always right. And that strength somewhere is there, and that makes me believe in myself more, and it just pushes me to do whatever I'm doing with full confidence and with the hope that everything is going to pan out the way it is supposed to pan out. Yeah.
Correct. And as they say, zero is a great number to begin with. If you want to begin at zero. And parents are those souls and those bodies that will love you no matter what.
Absolutely.
All right. So Tanya, tell me about yourself. What's your journey? How did you become this transformational coach, Tanya Mehra, ICF trained and certified?
Thank you for that. So I'll be very honest here. Okay, when I started my career journey, or when I was forced to think about my career rather, because it was not a pressure from my parents, but when you look at people around you, your peers, maybe your batchmates, you see them having a plan for themselves. Okay, I can do this, I can do that, and they are even going ahead with the presentations or whatever with the confidence that they've got their shit. And it has, I used to get overwhelmed looking at that, because I did not have any plan for myself. I've always questioned what is it that I can do that I am really better at, and nobody can take my place in it. It's not that I not do my job well, or be it academically, I was an average student or above average student. And when I was working in event industry, I was doing well over there as well. But I could not somehow see myself or understand, okay, this individual is doing something and it is probably adding some value to the organization. But what is this individual? What is at the core of this? Nothing was really connecting or resonating. So I'll tell you what, if I have to start from the scratch, when I was in school, I wanted to get into fashion designing. I was told there's a lot of competition, you won't be able to do that. Fine. Then I was interested in arts, and then it was like, okay, you can't have a career, you can have a hobby in arts and everything. I was like, fine, let's go ahead. I took science in 9th and 10th because my mom wanted me to be a doctor, but I knew I can't do it. So just for her sake, I was like, see, I can't do it. So don't force me to.
Yeah, every
So that
mom and
is
dad
out of
wants
the
their kids to go into science and either pick up engineering or medical. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
exactly.
interesting.
So I was like, I know I can't do it, but I'm just to show you I can't do it. I've taken this course up, right? So after that, I went to arts and did PMM mass media from KC College. There, I thought I am interested in becoming a creative art director because I'm creative and I really like ads,
Okay.
So that was the thought. But into the second year, I realized that I'm interested in the thought process. What goes on in the mind of that creative individual who's coming up with such creative content. So I wanted to understand what is that thought process like. And I was already in second year, right? So I had to complete my third year. And luckily, they had forced us to go for internships. Otherwise, they wouldn't allow us to sit for the third year. And I was just looking for any internship. I had nothing in my mind per se. And that is how I got internship in event industries. There, I loved events. I just loved it, being on the field, running around, having the responsibility. There's a different kind of excitement that goes into events and all the planning that you have to do. And everything has to be really planned and it has to go as per that. And you need to know that even if you've planned everything, something is going to be amiss. Something will not pan out. So you have to be prepared for it. So, events was all about that. And after my internship, I even started working there and they liked my work. And I tried to quit multiple times, but they said, no, you still be with us. I wanted to quit because I could not see myself being in the same industry for the next 5 years. So one day I was just sitting there and I was thinking, okay, I can do this well. I'm happy here. It was kind of like my second home. But can I see myself there, like in the next 5 years? What am I going to do? Am I going to do the same thing? The idea of Tanya Mehra and the idea of what I was doing were not matching somehow.
Yeah, there's no possible connecting tangent points to them as of now. So as you're saying, KC College Mass Media, I applied there. I never got in because I don't know why. मेरे percentage शायद कम थे. So I'm a science student myself. I did 11th and 12th from Hyderabad, Narayana. Prepared for engineering. Got 84.2% into science. Came to Mumbai because that was my city. I had to be there. I couldn't imagine myself anywhere. And if to put in correct words, I fought my way to the city of Mumbai. मैं लड़ाई कर गया था, मैं रो के आया था अपने माँ बाप से because they were like कि यहाँ से कर लो, नागपुर से कर लो, कहीं जाने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. So yeah, I came in, I did my engineering for a year in 2015 to 2016. But then I don't know what happened in 2016. And I said, no, this is not my cup of tea. Or rather, this is not something that I really enjoy sipping, this cup of tea. And I want something else. As you said, you're creative and you love ads. You love to direct them. You love to be around artistic pieces and artistic modules. So mera bhi wahi tha. I came back home. I said to my parents, I don't want to do this. I want to do BMM. मैंने उस वक्त ही पढ़ लिया था कि शाहरुख खान, आयुष्मान खुराना, all these guys, they did BMM. Ayushmann Khurrana did it from Chandigarh. Shahrukh Khan did it from Jamia Islamia for a year or so. So मैंने भी बोला कि हम भी करेंगे, हम भी यही करेंगे. And I loved it as well. So I took that decision and my father just said me one thing. So what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to do this. And he said, okay, fine, go ahead and do it. I fought for my admissions, applied in 3 colleges, Jai Hind, KC, Mithibai, got into 1, Mithibai in the 5th merit list. And here I am today. And I am so proud to say that our journeys match because as you said, you did your science, then you went on to do KC mass media. हम ढूंढते रहते हैं, हमारे अंदर की आवाज हम ढूंढते रहते हैं. हम वो उस प्रोसेस में खुद को डिस्कवर करते हैं. हम उस प्रोसेस में अपने आप से लड़ते भी है, सवाल भी करते हैं, खुद को जरूरत पड़ने पर पैट भी करते हैं पीठ पे कि गुड जॉब, कीप डूइंग. एंड व्हेन यू फाइनली स्टार्ट टू थिंक, ओके फाइन, मे बी दिस इज माय डेस्टिनेशन, दिस इज माय जर्नी, देन यू रियलाइज, ओके मे बी नॉट, दिस इज जस्ट अ पार्ट ऑफ इट एंड आई एम डेस्टिन्ड फॉर समथिंग एल्स. सो दैट वाज फॉर मी. जैसे आपने बोला कि you didn't have any idea and everyone was having some plan or some presentation and you were getting overwhelmed. I had no idea after my third year what I was going to do. I learned every possible creative skill in just the corridors of my college and I had no idea. So I turned up into this RJ hunting audition and I was selected as a radio jockey for a company, for a podcasting company that I work as a content director now. But I guess That's where our journey lies, and that's what life is about. It's constant discoveries, and you have no idea what road, what map, and what box would surprise you with something that you never expected, but were also ready subconsciously. So I guess that's your story.
It is absolutely the story. And, are you noticing, even though it is about discovery, there is something internal in you always pinpointing that, hey Raj, this is not aligning with who you are. Hey Raj, this is not your place. And Mumbai felt like the city that you belong to. So there was something inside of you that was telling you always, and you actually chose to work on it. And nothing can be more beautiful than that. I'm so happy for you.
And I'm so happy for you too. And I'm so happy that you're here and we're talking today. And so this transformational happened, and this transformed you into a transformational coach. So tell me about that. What was it like going for philosophy, masters in philosophy in Glasgow, and how was that experience? And how much difference did you see when a certain student doing their masters in India in philosophy is being looked at and is being pursued at, comparing to there and comparing to the environment over there?
Yeah. So, okay. How I landed into philosophy and then how the transformational coaching happened is a story in itself. So while I was in events working, I also started doing part-time as an art research person. So this artist that I was working with, she gave me a book called First and Last Freedom by J. Krishnamurti. And
can you repeat that?
First and the Last Freedom by J. Krishnamurti.
Okay, all right. This is going into the list. Perfect.
So, and let me tell you, until 2017, I had no idea what is philosophy or who are philosophers or what is it that they do. But when I started reading his book, and you can't read more than 2 pages in half an hour. I bet you do it. Try to read more than 2 pages or 3 in half an hour. You can't, because there's so much going on. Okay. So because I was so interested and I was wondering, who is this person? How is he writing so well? What is he doing to my mind? And that's when I came across that philosophy, that J. Krishnamurti is a philosopher. And then I started wondering, okay, let me see what is it and things like that. And that is how I came across Masters in Philosophy. And I read what all it includes. And at that point, I was sure I can't do anything else. I have to go do philosophy. There's nothing else makes more sense to me right now. So I tried in 2018, but for some reasons I couldn't go. Then I finally went in 2019. But in between, I did face reading. I'm a certified face reader, which is basically analyzing. Wonderful. Yeah, that's basically analyzing personalities through facial features. And I have been hooked on it forever, ever since. Yeah. And in
so you already know a lot about me, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I like that sound of So there's a request after the whole podcast. I'd like you to read my face and tell me a little bit about my bhavishya or something, or my personality, whatever you feel. Okay,
no,
you're not a palm reader, no? You're a face reader. All right, got it confused.
Absolutely. And I'm also not a mind reader. Oftentimes people get so scared, no, she'll read what is in my mind. I said, no, it's only about personality. I can't read your mind.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. This is so interesting.
Yeah. And 2 months into Masters in Philosophy, and I realized I can't do it for the rest of my life. I love philosophy. I can read it for leisure maybe, but I can't do it for the rest of my life. And that was a shattering moment for me, because you invest so much. Doing your masters from any country is an easy job. So I had to come to terms with that. But that was the fact. I don't know how was I able to accept that fact. I can't do it for the rest of my life. I can't see my career in this. And to be able to share it with my parents at one point, that is not happening maybe. Also, all this because people had asked me, like, what will you do with philosophy? What career are you going to get into? What is the future like in this and that? I said, no, I know things are going to work out. I'm going for it. My parents believed in me, so I didn't have to fight a lot. But there came a point in my life where I had to tell them it's not going to work out for me. Even though I completed, obviously I was not leaving it at any cost. But around that time, November 2019, I came across a Facebook ad, Animas Centre of Coaching, and they had a seminar where they introduce or give introduction about what is life coaching and whether you belong to it or not. And that day, it was in Edinburgh, so I had to go from Glasgow to Edinburgh to attend that live introduction. And that day, I was blown away. It was like there are people like me everywhere. It is not weird or it is not random, and these things are happening. There are different kind of special people everywhere. So yeah,
you're never alone. You're never alone. That's what they say. You're never alone.
Absolutely, you're never alone. But I took 1 good year to make that decision. I finally started my diploma in transformational coaching with Animas in September 2020 after completing my master's in philosophy. And philosophy has helped me a lot in coaching because it helps you to get into the details and the perspective. You are forced to wear so many hats at one time. Wear one hat, remove another one, put another hat. This is what happens in philosophy. And I give a lot of credit to philosophy for the kind of coach I have become. Also to Animas, but still. Yeah, so that is how I found transformational coaching. And first day of my course, I understood what do studious people feel like. Where do they get the questions from? What happens and how are they so excited to study? Because that happened with me when I was actually studying, about coaching and how to help people and things, everything associated with transformational coaching.
And as you just said, philosophy allows you to wear multiple hats: red hat, blue hat, green hat, yellow hat, XYZ. I guess that's a lot that describes your personality also. You were a different kid wanting to do different things. First, a fashion designer as a dream. Just say, bachpan mein main bolta tha, I want to be a software engineer. Look, where am I today and what am I doing? I'm a creative individual. I'm an artist. That's what I like to call myself. I'm an artist. I make art. So yeah, coming back to you, you want to do fashion designing. Then science happened. Then BMM happened. Then nothing happened. Then finally philosophy happened. And then philosophy also like, okay, fine, maybe not. So you're constantly seeking something new. You're constantly going after finishing one chapter to the next one. Even though you don't know, you're not sure, and you have no idea how's that journey going to be like, but you're absolutely sure about this journey for me at this point of time is done. And as you say, now here I am attending the first day of this great induction program of me turning finally into a transformational coach. What you do today is also what your personality had been while you were growing up. You were a creative individual. You were creating art. I would rather call you an artist. And you also had a neck for ads and direction. That is absolutely so much reflective in your Instagram page. Your page, your appeal, your approach is so creative, is so beautiful, is so engaging. The way you announced this whole thing, that we are going to be meeting live for this, for your series, Let's Begin There, hashtag Let's Begin There by Tanya Mehra. Check it out, 6 p.m. every week, Sunday on her Instagram official live. I'm going to be coming soon on Sunday, which is today, but obviously episode to baad mein release hoga, to aap logon ne miss kar diya. But yeah, obviously you can just check it out and check her page. It's there, Tanya, it's there in your personality. You're a creative individual. You're designing different thought processes, and you're coming up with great ventures in how you present your material, in how you present your content towards your people who would like to see you as a transformational coach. Now your whole body, now your whole spectrum soul is of a transformational coach, but uske andar mein jitne bhi alag-alag departments hai na, that is from that kid which has grown up from a person who wanted to be a fashion designer and finally landing up as a transformational coach. So you have all inside it. And I guess that's how life works. You never leave out on those core points that you once truly believed in. They're always there.
Absolutely.
I hope I'm making sense.
oh, you are making a lot of sense, because everything that you do in your life experiences are going to add up in every situation. That is why I don't resonate when people say, oh, I ended up wasting my time. I did this master's degree, but this happened, that happened. No, when you are learning something, or whenever you are experiencing something, even though you fail, you are you are becoming something, right? You are taking extracts out of it. It is shaping and molding you in certain way. So it's never a waste of time. It is never a waste of time. But it's also about acknowledging these things. Raj, you as an individual have a lot of strength and courage, because of the very fact that even though you said that you want to be a software engineer, you started doing your engineering. The kind of efforts it goes into just understanding, okay, that no, I don't think I want to do this, and then sharing it with your parents. I really don't want to do this. It takes a lot of courage, and more than courage, it takes a lot of self-belief and self-trust, which you have shown. And look where you are right now. You are so happy and contented with what you're doing, and you want to do more. And I don't think I'm wrong if I say that even on Sundays you are excited to work, because you love what you are doing. And it will not come just like that. People need to show that courage and confidence in themselves and fight for the things that they really want. If not fight, just at least acknowledge and talk to more than 5 people about it, so that there's some way out. Throw it out in the universe and go get it.
Yeah.
I'm very
Standing out for your
connect.
true self, who's asking and crying out for a help from you, the outer world and the outer face that you show to the society. And it takes a lot of guts, and it comes from a lot of inner conscience. You have to believe in it when no one believes in it. You have to trust in it when no one trusts in you or in that dream of yours. And that's why I quote, life is an illusion, because at the end of the day, it's not gonna matter. It's only gonna matter if it matters to you.
Yes.
I guess that's the only way, and that's the only reason. I also like to work on Sundays because I get to interview beautiful people like you doing wonderful things in their lives. So yeah. And again, so coming back, this is going so deep and this is going so interesting. I'm going to take a lot of learnings and a lot of takeaways from you. And we'll come to your transformational coach journey now, full throttle. But before that, I'd just like to, compare the scenarios of a student studying philosophy in India and a student studying there. So how do you feel people have their approach on philosophical aspects and mental health, and as a human being, your emotions, your feelings down there in the West and here in our country? So do you find any difference in the people's mentality or approach to it?
See, at the very core level, every individual, be it you are in some other country or India, doesn't matter. At the very core, we are all the same, right? We all are seeking the same human basic need: love, commitment, to a certain extent, codependency, and a lot of people will not agree with it. And everything, these are human elements, right? So at the very core, we are all the same. But if you talk about mental health and how it is perceived outside and over here in India, definitely it is not perceived well. But I definitely notice there is a transition that is taking place right now, and it is coming from the youth that, okay, let's go for it, let's accept it, let's do something about it. So there is a change that is taking place at a very slow rate, but it is happening. Also, when it comes to coaching, even though coaching is not about emotional healing or only mental well-being per se, it is very future oriented, action oriented, to get you from where you are today in the present to where you want to be in the future, and acknowledging and overcoming all the problems or situations or concerns that you might face on the way. So coaching is more about that. And in the Western country, they know what is coaching. They don't really need a lot of explanation about the difference between what is counseling and what is coaching. Let's say to 75% of the population knows the difference. Here in India, hardly 5 to 10% know that. So so it is about helping people firstly understanding, what is coaching, what is counseling, what is therapy, and then they can make a decision for themselves. But I'm really happy that there is a transition taking place. People are willing to, go out and try um, counseling or therapy because they feel it might be necessary for them. And to do my bit, every month I keep 1 day for free coaching sessions, and I keep 4 slots, so that people who would like to try but are not going to try because maybe there's cost involved or something, but they could really benefit from it. So they get to experience, what
Yeah.
is really cool and how it's going to help people out. So yeah, so I'm trying to do my bit, and I know a lot of counselors who are doing their bit in some way or the other.
So
through
technically and
volunteering
in a
stuff.
certain way, this is your way of giving back to the society. This is your way of reaching out to the ones who in the first place kind of get scared or a halka fulka feared and kind of conscious, and taking that and in believing in that first step, which is really important. I believe every big journey, a journey of 1,000 miles, begin with that one step, and that one step is very important. And in that one step, it's okay and it's a blessing if you have people supporting and believing in you. But even if you don't have, you want to believe in yourself. So yeah, and you're doing a wonderful and a marvelous job. Yeah, you're changing lives. I mean, that's such a dope statement. You're changing lives every day. You're changing lives. I mean, even though I'm repeating it many times and it sounds like an understatement, but it is truly something, because you're not changing one person's life. That one person will be showing and reflecting their personality and their affection and their energy towards different people. So you are kind of like establishing a chain. By improving the life and the mental set of one person, you're kind of like giving it a compound effect. It's spreading.
अगर ये एपिसोड पॉडकास्ट और बातचीत पसंद आए तो लाइक, शेयर और सब्सक्राइब के बेल आइकन को दबाकर हमें जरूर बताएं। सेंड योर पॉजिटिव वाइब्स, क्योंकि नेगेटिव तो सिर्फ कोविड का चलता है। दिन, महीने और साल खत्म होते हैं, एहसास नहीं। तो इस एहसास का इंतजार करिएगा श्रोतागण। लौड़ेगा जल्द, किराक और जबरदस्त। योर पॉडकास्ट विद राज।